Hi, this is Anshul, and this is my second video on testing by using the Google Test Framework, and this is one of the examples that I'm actually going to take. So, um, so here's what we are planning to do in this particular tutorial, and I have written a bunch of test cases for this tutorial. And as you can see on the screen, it's this has been actually opened in Notepad++, and these are some of the test cases which we will be writing by using TDD. Okay, so that is test-driven development. And essentially in TDD there are three phases. The first one is the red phase, second is the green phase, and third one is the refactor phase. Okay, so in the red phase, you actually implement a failing unit test, and in the green case, you actually make your test case pass. Okay, with minimum implementation. So you need to know that you need to do minimum implementation at that point. And in the last case, you have to refactor and make the code to the level of a production quality. Okay, so those are the three things that you need to do. Now, uh, in these test cases that we have, this is about the checkout. So, for example, when you go to a retail outlet, you have checkout happening over there. So, essentially, when you buy a bunch of items together, let's say you buy three items, uh, which three items of the same brand and the same product basically. So in that case, there is a discount rule which has to be applied to it, right? So there are different test cases as you can actually see on the screen. Uh, One is can create instance of checkout. Okay, so you should be able to create an instance of the checkout. Then second is add an item price. Third one is add an item. So you should be able to add the price of an item, and then you should be able to add an item itself. Then you should be able to calculate the current total, and you should be able to add multiple items and get the correct total. And so, and if there are multiple items added, then the discount rules should actually apply to those multiple items. And uh, So you should be able to apply multiple discount rules to different items. So for example, if you have brought 3 packs of milk and say 10 packs of chocolate and let's say 5 packs of biscuits. So in that case, you should be able to apply these discount rules to all of those three categories. And then exception is thrown for item added without price for the item. Okay, so these are the test cases that we are going to implement in this trust-driven development tutorial. Okay, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so what I will do in this case now, in order to implement all my test cases, so I will actually start with my first test case, which is can create instance of checkout. Okay, so in order to do this, now this is something which I had created earlier. So if you have not seen how to set up the GT test environment, then you can actually go to the earlier video and see how to do this. Now, in this case, I'm actually going to write, a test case over here. Let's say, so I'm going to change the name of this test case to, let's say, checkout test. Okay, let's check test, and my function is going to be or can instantiate checkout. Okay. All right, so that's going to be my first test case, and now I'm going to get rid of this. All right, so I'll say check. Let's say I'll call my class as checkout, and I will. Uh, this is the variable that I'm instantiating right now. So the name of my class is going to be checkout. Okay, and I will add. So now this is failing. So before I go ahead, now we are actually in the red phase at this point where it's giving a compilation error that the checkout is undefined. So we are in the red phase here. So this is good. Okay, now let's move ahead to the second phase, which is the green phase. And we need to make sure that in the green phase, your unit test is going to work with the least amount of production code. Okay. So now I will go over here and then go to add and click on add a class, and I will name it as checkout. Okay, so you can see it is going to generate a header file and a C++ file. So I'll click OK, and there I have it. So I have checkout.cpp and checkout.h. Okay, so both these files are there now. Now I'll go to GT-test, and it will still give you these wiggly braces. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to include, and I need to say checkout.h. All right, so once I do this, now it goes away. So this is I have actually passed my green phase, and since these wiggly braces are gone, that means my test case has passed at this particular point. Okay, so this is I've moved from the red phase to the green phase at this particular point. All right, now so in a minute I'm going to teach you in terms of how to go about the rest of the test cases. So can add an item and can calculate the current total. So I'll cover this next. Alright, so we are able to instantiate the checkout class which we did earlier, and now the next item on my list is can add an item price. Okay, now so I will implement these two. Can I add an item and can I add an item price, both of these. So let's write another test for this, which will be test. Okay, and let me call this as checkout test instead of test, and I'll say checkout test. Okay, and then the name of my second thing, can add an item price, right? So I will say can add item price. Okay, and now I will instantiate my variable, the checkout variable that we have. So checkout CO, and from this object that we created, the CO object, I will call add item price. Okay, and let's say I will call this item as A and the price as 1. Right, so now at this stage we have a failing unit test. So we enter the red phase, which is the first phase, Now, in order to get out of this phase, I need to make sure that the my unit test passes. So in order to get this to work, I will actually go to my checkout.h, all right, and then I will implement below the constructors and destructors. I will say void add item price, okay, and this is going to accept a string, okay, string, let's say product, and integer variable, all right, so integer price, for example. And let me be very specific, this will make it easier to read the code. And I have this add item price which I have declared over here, and now I need to define it. So I will implement it inside checkout.cpp. So I'll go here and say checkout double colon add item price, say std double colon, and then say string, and then product, and say integer price, okay, and there you go. Right, so I have string. Okay, so it's showing figly braces because we need to include string over here, so I will do that. As include string, and this should work. Right, and item price. Okay, so compatible string PDT integer price. std string integer price. All right. Yeah, I forgot to add the variable void over here. And this is good. Okay, so we have the function working, and now if I build this, let's say I will build the solution, and then I will run. Okay, so there was an issue with the stdafx.h file, and it needs to be added to the first line over here in .cpp, and that's why this was not working correctly. So now since I've done this, now this is working. So now we are actually in the green phase, and our test case is passing. Okay, so we have the minimum functionality implemented at this point, and our test case is working fine. Now at this stage, we will enter the refactor stage. Now, is there anything that I can refactor over here? So let me get this down. So in this code, what can I refactor at this point? So I can see that my checkout instance, my CEO object is actually duplicated over here, and I already know that my checkout instance is working fine. So this is a duplicate. So I'm going to get rid of this test case because I'm already validating it over here. So I will take this out. So this is the refactor phase, and I'm done with this code, right? So we are now we will move on to the next test case, which is here. Okay, so can add an item. So now I'm going to create another test over here. Okay, and I would say check checkout test, and can, so I will name it after my can add an item. So I will say can add item. Okay, and then I will instantiate my object of checkout class and then call co.add item. Alright, I don't want to call item price, I just want to say add item, and we don't have this function at this point. So now we are again back to the first phase, which is the red phase, and we have a failed end unit test because our compiler is given the error. Okay, so now I will go and do the same thing that we did last. I'm going to write void checkout add item and says TD double colon string BDT. Okay, so this is my implementation, and I'm going to take this, go to my checkout header file, and then get rid of this, and I'll get rid of this, and I don't want to add item price, it's an item. Okay, so I need to change that over here. I'll notice, so autocorrect keeps on working in the background and it keeps on making a lot of changes. So now we have the working function over here, although it's not really implemented at this point, but we have a working function. So now we enter the green phase. All right, and at this stage uh, we need to find out if we can actually refactor some of this code. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, so we are successfully able to test this. Let me quickly run this test case, because it says not run test 2. So let's run this, all this. Okay, and it says build succeeded. And then the tests are passed, right? So I have both the tests which are working fine now. So again, we are in the green phase, and now we move to the refactor phase. Now in the refactor phase, is there any duplicate code that is over here? Now I can actually see that I have this checkout class which I'm creating again. So what I will do is I will get rid of this, okay, and I will create a new class. I will create a derived class actually, which is check out this. Okay, then I will say colon public and um, and derive this from testing double colon test. Okay, so this is my where I'm going to derive this from, and then I will open my braces, and then let's say public, and I'll create a protected class specifier over here, and I will call let's say I will rename, I'll call it checkout. I'll instantiate the object checkout over here. Okay, now, and what I will do is in my functions, and I'm going to again test, I'm going to remove the test with and replace it with test fixtures. So this is a test fixture, which is another macro in Google test. and I will replace this with checkout. All right, and similarly, I'm going to get rid of this instantiating, and then I'll say check out dot add item a. Okay, and I need to change this check out. Okay, I'm not typing it correctly. Oh, check out, right? Oh gosh, auto type is making me mad. Okay, check t dot add item. All right, we're good. So it's still showing me some squiggly braces over there. So it is what's the mistake that I'm making? Check out that item. A. I think this should have worked correctly. Okay, that's strange. What's the mistake that I'm making over here? Check out, check out. This doesn't have these weekly grays. This does have this public test. Oh yeah, I forgot to change this. So there we have it. Right. So now it's all good. I will again, run all my test cases. Okay, so all of this passed again. So this is how we refactor in this particular stage. All right, now I'm gonna take a break. I had a call, so I just could not complete this entire uh, testing presentation. So what I will do is I'll go ahead and upload this, and in my next video I will continue from where I left off. All right, thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.